Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to the Tube. Going down a different route today because we've got some breaking news. On the bottom G himself, Andrew Tate. He's been charged, formally charged, that is, with sex trafficking and rape. And I have no problem saying the R word whilst doing this because that's what he's been charged for, formally, that is. I'm here with Shredder Lives On. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. It's great to hear that Andrew Tate has now gone formally now from being an incel to living in a cell, potentially for the next 25 years.
Yeah. And I have to say that I have got the popcorn ready for this because this is going to be a good time. Now, um, he was in jail at the beginning of the year for several months. He finally came out and was put under house arrest, and all his incels and all his simps were cheering because they just thought that this was the beginning of him being released totally, so to speak, and being brought back into society. But these people don't really know the law. A lot of them were saying innocent proven guilt until proven guilty, basically saying that he is innocent when that has to be proven as well. But lo and behold, the Romanian authorities have come in, they've charged him, and it looks like it's going to be a long haul for Andrew as well as Tristan Tate and a few other of their colleagues.
Yeah, so Andrew was arrested. I believe he was formally arrested in December of last year. So he spent New
Yeah,
Year in prison. They extended his detention for 30 days at a time, as they were allowed to do under the law after his appeal failed. It was in March, I think, that he was moved to house arrest. So he was moved out of jail to house arrest. The other two defendants, who aren't him and his brother, they were under house arrest already, and that's two female suspects. I believe they're actually female police officers.
yeah,
So the two of them, Tristan Tate and Andrew Tate, are all being charged with being part of an organized crime group. Andrew Tate and his brother are being charged with human trafficking, and Andrew Tate himself is being charged with rape.
yeah.
So Tristan Tate's not being charged with rape. Andrew Tate's the one being getting hit with all of these charges. And they've also got potentially an impending civil case coming up in the UK as well, because this started back in April. Three women launched a civil case against him, claiming rape and sexual assault and physical assault as well between 2013 and 2016, and a fourth joined them earlier this month. None of the women's names have been made public in any of the news articles, so they're not doing this just purely for attention or for fame. These are people who are coming forward with allegations of sexual assault and taking the legal recourse that they feel they've got.
I've actually heard some of the confessions from some of these women, and it's heartbreaking what Andrew Tate has done to them, and I'm really happy that he's getting his comeuppance. We've heard it himself how he speaks about women, and it's no surprise that he's actually done this. Believe what people say, and what he's a proud misogynist. That one particular recording where he really liked it when the woman he was having sex with or whatever he was doing with them didn't like it. He got off on their discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
He's a terrible human being, and it upsets me so much that so many men find find him to be their messiah, and he is cult like. I look at him as like a Donald Trump of the youth, to a degree, because the way people follow him and worship him is very similar, and it's very uncomforting how somebody who is so horrible in every aspect, who's so full of shit in every aspect, flaunting who they are and and it's got a history of taking advantage of people. Even when you explain to his cult like followers that look what he's done to take advantage of the very people that follow him, they love him. They love him even more. It's baffling. It's beyond
Oh yeah,
baffling.
it's cultish behavior. There was a documentary, I can't remember who it was that did it, but he required the journalist involved to actually get legitimately choked out by a mixed martial arts fighter before he would
Was that the
accept the
Vice?
interview.
The
Oh
guy
yeah, that
from
was
Vice, I
Vice.
believe.
Yes, that is Vice.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he basically showcases success. The idea is that, oh, well, I've got all this stuff, and this is how I got it. So, you know, if you want to be a top G, you want to be Bugatti, this is how you've got to do it too. And
Yeah.
it's just not the case. It doesn't work like that. Life does not work like that. But people look at him and think, well, I want a Bugatti. I want to get all these different women, you know, so I'll take his advice and do what he did. And all it does is it's just led to loads and loads of, I would say, impressionable teenage youth thinking that this is the correct way to behave towards women. The fact is that we're now seeing his videos are being shown in classrooms in the UK, at least, to explain to kids that no, this is not acceptable behavior. This is not how you're supposed to treat women.
Yep, I agree. And I'm very happy in a way that, I mean, I have no idea what's been going on in schools recently, but to know about that, and I have known about that, by the way, is a really good thing, because, you know, we have to, when we teach our young, it's not just about educating them in particular, you know, fields. It's also about, you know, teaching them social issues as well. And in my opinion, when it comes to them growing up and just being good people and doing the right thing, and for following someone like Andrew Tate definitely isn't the right thing. So I'm glad in the way that they're being self-aware, but he is
Yeah,
controversial. Sorry,
well,
go
the
on.
only thing as well I would say, though, just to briefly just kind of interrupt you, is the one thing I would like to actually see as well is potentially some of his videos taught in a sex education class, for the simple reason that he effectively was bragging about how shit he was in the bedroom. Because
Oh, really?
well, here's the thing. Two of them stood out to me. One was the fact that he said that the way he treated women in the bedroom was wallop, 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 shut a bitch sex. And that was it.
Yeah. That's it. That's if a woman, is that the one where if a woman comes after him with a knife or something?
No, that wasn't even like women comes after him. That was just, you know, the way he treats women. So it's like, you know, slap, slap, shut up, bitch, sex, and that's it. And
Yeah.
the other one
What a fucking
was
idiot.
he said that well, he was bragging about how his preference was for 19-year-old girls who had no experience. Well,
I
yeah,
think younger than that, man.
there's a reason he wants girls that age with no experience. It's because they wouldn't know how crap he was compared to other men.
I think also they're easy to manipulate as well.
Yeah. Again, teenage girls probably are very easy to manipulate for somebody like him. Let's be honest. I could never attract a teenage girl in a million years. If I show up anywhere outside near a school gates, you know, bald head, glasses, big beard, everybody's going to scream pedophile. But somebody like Andrew Tate, you know, he's got that physique, he's got the background, he's got the cars. He's probably going to be impressionable to young girl. Well, he's probably going to have an impression on young, impressionable girls who will be impressed by the physique, the body, the money, the cars, you know. But and they'll overlook all the other shit that, you know, is there.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping to bring up some of the tweets regarding Andrew Tate. I'm going to quickly show you some,
Okay.
if you don't mind. So I'm just going to
Yeah, because
bring it
I
up
haven't
right
been on
now.
Twitter for a long time, so
I try to use Twitter, and I'm avoiding Twitter as much as possible because it's become pretty much a right wing hellhole. And
yeah, I shut my account down when Elon Musk bought it.
so I've got some. I got first of all, it says here, right here, the DNG is outside of my house again. The DNG being, if you can just maybe educate me on that.
The
The
DNG.
DNG.
I pass. I have no clue. I presume it's the branch of the Romanian authorities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. Now there's this quite famous pick me who's got over 1 million views on Twitter. Sorry, on YouTube. Sorry, not views, subscribers. She her name is Pearl Davis, also known as just Pearly Sings. Now this is her comment, which is absolutely ridiculous and stupid, and it's so obvious to a degree how stupid this comment is that it just does my fucking head in. If this can happen to Tate, what can they do to the average man? Now, the average man, for a start, has been fucked over for as long as I can remember. And as we spoke about prior to commencing the stream, the average man doesn't have the sort of reach and power that Andrew Tate has.
Well,
So
not
in the,
not only that, Sam. The average
yeah,
man does not engage in human trafficking.
and that too, exactly. And the average man, sorry, I apologize. Tweet not being the average man. He's the sort of person who's teaching people how to human traffic. I mean, he is obviously a wealth of wisdom. Um, there are some comments regarding what Pearl said. There are some simple and surprising ways to minimize the risk of being accused of human trafficking.
Yeah, like not doing it.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Chase the human trafficker justice being served. Nothing. Average man is not really the most Googled man on earth. Hence, the influence is minimal. I believe they are after him because he's the polar opposite of what governments are trying to shove down our throats, and that is the problem.
No,
Like what?
no,
What?
that is
What is
going
he
to be one of
talking
those
about?
messed up
Yeah,
responses I've ever seen to this kind of thing. No, he's engaged in human trafficking. The average man does not do that. The average man does not go out and commit rape. The average man is not involved in organized crime. So, no, the average man is not at risk of being fucking railroaded and put in a Romanian jail like Andrew Tate, where he absolutely belongs.
exactly. It says right here: the average man doesn't sex traffic women to build their wealth.
Yeah,
And as much as he likes to minimize women and their needs and their requirements in this world, apparently he shattered on a female pilot because he wanted a man to fly a plane. But at the same time, right now he has a woman as his lawyer trying to bail his ass out of jail, so he has no problem with that. He famously once said that education is a bad thing, and
oh,
you shouldn't be
I've got a
going to.
list of his quotes up here because
Yeah.
there was a young girl
It-
actually at my work who told me that Andrew Tate said a lot of things that she didn't disagree with, and I pulled these up and said, okay, well, here's a bunch of quotes from him. You tell me which one you disagree. You tell me which one you agree with. So here's the quotes: "Women are men's property. It's a woman's fault if she's raped. Women who are depressed are just lazy. Women can't do a job as well as a man can. Women could never be as smart as a man." Oh yeah, this is the one I was talking about. His method of having sex with a woman was slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex. Let's see. Yeah, he removed to Romania because it's easier to get away with sexual assault. Men having sex with another woman isn't cheating, but a woman talking to a man is cheating. Being in a loyal monogamous relationship with a woman is gay. Women have no idea how a business works. You can solve all the problems in the world if every woman had their body count on their forehead. Women are easy to rape and therefore shouldn't complain when it happens.
Bloody hell.
I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of being able to do what I want to a woman. Feminists deprived of male attention. And, oh yeah, here, he seeks out and grooms 18-year-old girls because they are, quote, fresh.
Well, I finally found what I was looking for, by the way. Let me just quickly show it to you. This particular tweet really pissed me off, and the fact that he got so many people liking it as well also pissed me off.
That's the thing. He was banned from Twitter before Elon Musk bought the platform.
Yeah, Elon Musk brought everybody back, even Donald Trump. But Donald Trump doesn't like Elon Musk, so that's why he's not going back. So Andrew Tate wrote, "Reading books is for losers who are afraid to learn from life. So they try and learn from the life others have lived. But you never really learn unless you live it. You must feel it to believe it. Books are a total waste of time. Education for cowards." It's like, you know who read books? The fucking lawyer who's trying to defend his ass right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
the guy who services his cars.
Yes. The people who fly the pilots who fly his private fucking jets and shit like that. Everything that he owns in his life at some point, somebody's had to read a book in order to fucking design those things, like the house he fucking lives in.
Yeah, do you think electricians and plumbers have never read books on how to do their job?
Yeah, exactly. So this comment really drives me nuts. And the ironic thing is that he himself has written a fucking book. You
Yeah.
know, here it is. I'll just show you a picture of it. There it is. Can you see it?
Yep. Money, power,
You know,
wealth. That has to be probably the most ridiculous book ever since Rush V's Bang series. And particularly the ones where he wrote about places where he didn't manage to actually have sex with women.
So just this alone just makes me like, it boggles my mind how people follow him. I'm not sure if you recall, in Greece there were like a whole bunch of simp kids walking the street saying free Top G.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Tate wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. Like he would totally ignore most of the people who are asking for help. And I know a lot of people do asking for help, and people give him a pass because he says certain things that majority of people who are not fucked up like Andrew Tate would say anyway, like eat healthy, go to the gym, you know what I mean, be a bit more disciplined in your life, yada yada. You don't, but you couple that with him being a misogynist, it doesn't matter that he says those good things. The misogyny just overtakes all of that, and he all those good things are irrelevant because you can get good advice like that from somebody who isn't a misogynist piece of shit.
That's the thing. I mean, these so-called gurus, they always have some good bits of information, but then it moves on to things like racism or misogyny or homophobia or white nationalism, that kind of thing. So Fresh and Fit is one, talks about healthy eating, but then goes on and says a bunch of other fucked up shit. Jordan Peterson, there's some very, very good basic advice in some of his work, but then he moves on to, the outright transphobia and, to now where he's working for white nationalists, the Daily Wire.
Yep. Yeah. I never really got to grips with what people liked about Jordan Peterson. The main one is that he tells people to clean their room. My mum was telling me to clean my room before I fucking even heard.
It's the simple rules for, like, how to live your life. I mean, some of them on the surface, they're absolutely fine. Have a bit of discipline. Take a bit of pride in your personal grooming. Maybe go to the gym every once in a while. Dress nicely. Maybe get yourself cars. That kind of thing. But it's not. It then leads into just outright bigotry and hatred. And in Peterson's case, a large portion of it is transphobia, and again, where he's also now working with the white nationalists at the Daily Wire.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it bugs me that certain people who shouldn't be associating themselves with white nationalists, like Andrew Tate, who's mixed race, like people like Sneeko, who's also mixed race, who's had people like Nick Fuentes on his channel, and who's a big admirer of Andrew Tate. They're in line with these people. I just don't get it. I want to show you something from Sneeko, by the way, because Sneeko himself. You know who Sneeko is?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately,
yeah, Sneeko himself is calling trans people, gay people, pedophiles. But this is what happened on his channel.
What, did he have another EDP? Did he have another EDP moment where he was trying to meet up a minor?
Yep.
Really?
Just check it.
Oh, geez. Right. Well, let's have a look. Are you pulling this up, or are you sending?
Have you not seen it?
No. I have not seen.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Let me just put it up properly. My bad. I thought I showed it. Let me just rewind this. Okay.
So are you pulling us up onto this?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You ready?
You guys look like you voted for Joe Biden.
No, don't say that. Actually, we would make a great double date. I like you on the left, and I think Zerka likes the girl on the right.
They're both on the left. What up, girls? I want to kiss you guys.
How old are you?
What the
fuck? I got that white bitch smiling. Let's go.
Stop. How old are you guys?
Underage. Well, you just
like,
yeah.
Like how underage though? Like Like your birthday's next week type shit?
Like we can't go to Starbucks, white bitch.
And I will be turning 15 in a month.
Change my state of mind. Ladies and gentlemen, so hard to find. We got him.
And
Oh, Jesus
that,
Christ.
and this is like these guys who constantly are claiming that the people on the left and trans people and all that are pedophiles. Those are the ones who make those accusations. Those are the ones you need to worry about the most, because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the right wing, every accusation is a fucking confession.
It seems that way, yeah.
And him and that guy Zerk, who's a fucking twat, by the way, a proper twat, who is just being he trolls. He has nothing really substantial to offer. I've noticed with a lot of these right wingers, they all claim to really care about particular issues, but deep down you can see them smirking and laughing and fucking around. They don't genuinely give a shit. All they want to do is make certain demographics of people uncomfortable, and they get off on that. And you can see that with Zerka and now them two basically talking to those two children, and like the moment they like how underage they asked them, like Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
like, what are you
how
gonna get at?
underage are you? Is it like a week, before your 16th birthday? Fucking hell.
Exactly. And Sneeko has been renowned, for liking the movie Cuties as well, which was on Netflix.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen that yet, and I don't want to fucking see that, because I don't want to see something I know that is that controversial that is going to offer nothing to me, because it's not even my type of film, and I'm not even remotely curious. If a lot of people are talking about how wrong it is, and I take their word for it. I genuinely do.
I've heard the message that the director was trying to send, but at the same time, I think it was horribly, horribly botched.
Exactly. And then also, you never see, when it comes to all these accusations of pedophilia and child grooming, like for instance, child beauty pageants are a massive thing in America, done a lot by conservative mums, and stuff like that, who what they do to their little girls is quite disgusting, really. I mean, they are sexualizing them big time, and no, they never get called out by people like Andrew Tate or anyone else on the right. We always hear a new story of a priest or a rabbi in Amman or something along those lines, molesting kids and shit like that. They never get fucking called out.
Yeah, I've yet to hear a story of a kid being molested drag queen story hour.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
these accusations of grooming, they come from people like Matt fucking Walsh of the Daily Wire. I mean, Matt Walsh,
he's a groomer himself.
He's got a fetish for impregnating 16-year-old girls. Matt Walsh is 37 years old, by the way. He's got a fetish for, again, impregnating 16-year-old girls. He had that piece of shit movie, What Is a Woman? Now, right, Matt Walsh, as far as he's concerned, if you were born biologically female, you are a woman. You are a woman no matter what. You cannot change your gender. So, in Matt Walsh's logic, there's a trans boy who's shown topless in this movie. He's 15 years old. According to Matt Walsh, this is a girl. But if Matt Walsh's logic is correct, then what he's done in his movie is shown child pornography, because he's shown a topless young girl.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, these same people want people who look like women to go into men's bathrooms and vice versa.
Oh yeah, and again, other people call people fucking groomers and pedophiles. Look at Tim Pool. I mean, Tim fucking Pool. Do you remember the story about the young girl who had to cross state lines to get an abortion? She was like 13.
She was 10. Yeah, she was 10.
Yeah. 10, right? Okay. 10. But yeah, Tim Pool was on. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, she was 10 when she was pregnant. She had the abortion at 11, wasn't it?
I don't know. I mean, all I know is that she was raped.
All I know is she was very grossly underage to the point where, if she had carried that pregnancy to term, at least as well, it would have done severe damage to her. That's if she even survived the process of labor and childbirth. But Tim Pool said that he didn't believe this was rape because there had been no rape kit used. As if a fucking minor of that age is capable of even consenting to sex.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little technical problem here. Sorry, but go on, keep going.
He literally said that he doesn't believe that this girl was raped because there had been no signs of a rape kit. I mean, what age does Tim Pool think that girls are able to have consensual sex with men that causes them to fall pregnant? I would love to know.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure, like, Tim Pool himself, he's a fake liberal or a fake centrist. He's one of those who pretends to be
he claims he's a milquetoast fence sitter. He says that, I'm not conservative because I think Ronald Reagan was one of the worst presidents of all time. That's true. Okay, that's fine. But you've also said that you think Donald Trump was one of the best presidents of all time.
I saw that clip
fucking
of
fence sitter.
I saw that clip of him constantly saying how Donald Trump was going to win the presidency. He's going on about that constantly, and then Donald Trump didn't win the presidency, and he looked like a fucking idiot. But he's still got loads of people supporting him regardless. Look, back to Andrew Tate. What do you think is gonna happen to him from here?
Well, as far as I'm aware, he will still be kept under house arrest. I don't know if they'll be transferring him back to prison while he awaits his trial, because he's considered a flight risk. It's why they were able to detain him for as long as they did. I'm looking over the news story at the moment. So let's see. So the Tate brothers are accused of tricking 7 women into sexual exploitation on fake promises of a relationship or marriage, a technique authorities have labeled the lover boy method.
The lover boy method, yeah.
They are charged alongside 2 Romanian female suspects who are accused of being part of the alleged organized crime group. It's alleged all 4 formed the group in 2021 to commit human trafficking in Romania and other countries, including the US and the UK. I would be curious to see if that's going to result in maybe potential charges in the US and the UK once he's released. Because I know in the UK at least, we don't have a statute of limitations. He could potentially be extradited and prosecuted for that.
Do you think that's going to happen? You think he's going to come to the UK to face prosecution?
It would be incredible if it happened. But let's see. Alongside the charges of human trafficking, Andrew Tate has also been charged with raping one of the victims, while his brother Tristan has been charged with instigating others to violence. They deny the allegations. A spokesperson for the Tate brothers described the decision to charge the pair as undoubtedly predictable. Well, yeah, of course it was bloody predictable.
We have a comment here from Twitch.
They literally talk. Is Andrew Tate good? No, he's an absolute monster of a human being.
Yeah,
I mean he's banned from he's banned from pretty much every platform other than Twitter. Other than Twitter, because Twitter reinstated his account. TikTok banned him, but they had a whole bunch of his simps keep posting his clips there. YouTube banned him, Instagram banned him, Facebook banned him. Yeah,
exactly. So is he good? No, he's far from good. I mean, he's a cult leader, that's for sure. I mean, my God, I mean, the amount of young men in this world who are so lost, and they look at someone like Andrew Tate and they think, yeah, that's the direction I need to go in, and they'll never even get close to him. I mean, the Hustlers University was a massive scam.
Oh, that pyramid scheme, yeah.
It was a pyramid scheme where people would invest their money and learn how to be rich. But the only person who was getting rich from it was Andrew Tate. I mean, it was a glorified Discord server, and you were never learning any real method, so to speak. Andrew Tate was hardly on it. I couldn't believe people fell for it, and I think there's hundreds of thousands of people on it.
Trump University. I mean, people fell for that.
I agree, but I think with social media and more word of mouth, I think I was hoping that people would be more aware that Hustlers University. I mean, it's called Hustlers University. At least Trump's University is not standing like you're learning to fucking cheat at cards or something. You know what I mean?
Well,
Hustlers
again, it wasn't even so much learning to cheat cards. He was supposedly teaching you how to be successful in business, how to improve your game with women. Effectively, he was. I would bet if I was to compare it to anything, it would probably be the courses that the pickup artist community has been selling for years.
Yeah.
So they teach you how to they teach you how to improve how you interact with women. Well, actually, it's mostly about teaching you about how to bother women and pester them for sex, and just view women as being objects rather than people.
Exactly. Now there were a couple of women who were under his webcam industry did actually say that they weren't influenced by him and that they weren't being detained and so on. Do you think there's a bit of Stockholm syndrome going on?
It could be. Could very well be. Yeah. But again, he's got 7 women coming forward in Romania alone, saying that no, they were exploited and abused. He has 3 in the UK. Well, 4 now in the UK suing him. So yeah. And again, we don't know any of these women's names. So can you accuse them really of being gold diggers? Can you accuse them of being fame hungry?
No, I yeah, totally. I agree. And the more,
do you know the names of any one of Bill Cosby's accusers?
No, none.
Right, you know what Bill Cosby did. Even know. You don't know a single one of their names, do you? Of the victims?
No, and I also don't know really any of the victims. That E. Jean Carroll's regarding Trump. You know, it's like 17 women who have been harassed. But there's one particular girl who became a woman when she mentioned this. She did a teenage beauty pageant at Trump Towers, and Trump would walk in on these teenage girls while they're getting changed, but he could because it's his place. You know, no care for the fact that they would be indecent. If anything, he wanted to cop a look at these girls while they were getting changed and stuff. That's the sort of man that he is. That's the sort of person that he is.
Yeah, that was the impression you got. And you hear things like, obviously, the comments that he's made, like, for example, about, what was that, a 6-year-old girl? He said, in 10 years, I'll be dating her.
Yeah, was that his daughter's friend?
I don't know if that was his daughter's friend or if that was like a class, like a school class or something that were visiting one of his buildings.
I know when it came to...
but he's got a creepy obsession with his daughter Ivanka.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be shocked if he hasn't done anything to her. You know what I mean? And I heard his niece mention something as well. The niece who's against him, I forgot her name. But she is it Mary Trump? I think it might be.
Might be. I'm not entirely familiar with the Trump family.
Yeah, she mentioned a quote, something that Donald Trump said about her and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, back to we keep going on tangents here, but back to Andrew Tate. So now he's been charged. He'll be under house arrest. We don't know what's going to be going on now, but I saw you in one of your comments on social media mention that this trial could go on for years.
Yes, that's what's been reported in the news. The trial could go on for years. Under Romanian law, the case is now going to be sent to the preliminary chamber, and a judge has got 60 days to inspect it. And if he's happy enough with the files, the trial will proceed.
It's not going to do Tate any favors, knowing that he's ridiculed the Romanian justice system in the past by calling them all corrupt.
Probably not, because he's blatantly said that he moved to Romania because it was corrupt. He could get away with so much more over there.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you feel that the justice system will try to make an example out of him?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but again, it's hard to tell. I'm having a look so far what they've seized, because I think it was like 14 cars that the Romanian authorities seized. Oh, 15.
That was initially when he got arrested, though, in December.
Well, that's what they seized inside Romania. He's got other assets elsewhere. I think he's got some assets in Abu Dhabi that they can't touch.
Yeah.
But, okay, so Romania's Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism said authorities had seized Bitcoin worth an estimated $385,000, about £300,000, from cryptocurrency wallets belonging to the Tates. They've seized 15 buildings and pieces of land, 15 luxury cars, 14 luxury watches, 2 ingots, which were blocks of precious metal, and a medal as part of their investigation. So, you know,
A
again,
medal.
you look at all the things that they've seized. So again, $385,000 worth of Bitcoin, 15 buildings and pieces of land, 15 luxury cars, 14 luxury watches, and 2 ingots of precious metal. So, you look at all that and you can see to some degree what the appeal was to young people, saying, look, here's how successful I am. I've got all this stuff. You want it, don't you? Well, pay attention to me. Here's how you'll get it.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many people are falling for it. Young people, there's not just young people as well. There are people who are a lot older. People, I play poker, for instance. I play once a month with a secular friends, and a couple of them, who are older than me, players, really admire Andrew Tate. Now, I mentioned to them, Andrew Tate's a nonce, as well.
Yep.
He let's not mince our words here. He definitely is a nonce, and they disagree with me. And then I brought up one of his comments. He said about a 16-year-old girl. And I'm happy to quickly look for that at this particular moment. But it definitely proves that this is the sort of person that he is. The guy is like 36, 37 now. I think he's almost in his 40s. His obsession with young girls is quite disgusting, really. He's a dangerous person. We saw what happened with Big Brother as well. He got kicked out of it because of the stuff he's done in the past. He's definitely an unhinged person. He goes on about women being very emotional, which is one of the reasons why they can't be relied upon and all of that. And there's various other reasons why he wants to restrict them in every method possible. But he himself, when you see him talking and expressing himself, he's more emotional than anybody else. He's he really gets involved in the bullshit that he's spurting out of his mouth, and because of the following that he's got right now, he feels like he can do no wrong. It probably shocked him more than anybody else that he got arrested. He probably thought he was Teflon Andrew. At that particular time,
I found a thing about him with minors, by the way.
Yeah, please mention it.
Okay, so according to a witness, the former Big Brother contestant's brother Tristan also introduced him to a very young-looking girl who he claimed to be in a sexual relationship with, gleefully boasting, "Guess how old she is? She's 16, bro."
Bloody hell.
Romanian police have so far identified 6 women as victims, including 1 American, 2 Moldovans, and 3 Romanians. But yeah, I believe 16 is considered a minor in Romania. I know age of consent in this country is 16. Although I believe there's certain restrictions to that too. I mean, obviously, 16, you can't be in a position of power, for example, over someone that age. So you couldn't do it if you were an employer or a solicitor or a doctor or a teacher. I believe also the loophole has been changed as well. So athletic coaches, for example, can't get into a relationship with someone who's under the age of 18. But
I'm going to quickly show you this.
Please.
This is Andrew Tate again. This is from something I found on Twitter. You ready?
Go for it. Nothing's happening.
No?
No, nothing's showing up on my screen.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? What the hell? Damn, I've done it again. Sorry. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Bakers.
I don't know if they're ready for that.
There was once a girl named April Baker.
Little sexy, little fat ass. And I was like, you're hot. So I messaged her. She's like, I'm only 16. I was like, give a fuck. Know about me. I'm 21. I don't care. So I pick up April Baker in my Mazda RX 8. Who knows about them cars? No one knows. So I pick up April Baker, and I was so disappointed. April Baker was the original catfish. Before catfish was a thing, April Baker was a thing. She went from a 10 to a 5. I don't know if she did it. Bro, I was banging her, like looking at her Facebook on the phone, like just staring at a different face. So from there on out, girls became Aprils. And we still use this to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 21 at the time, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he's lusting after a 16-year-old. I mean, him being a man and that person being a fucking child.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I think you could excuse it if, somebody who's like, maybe 17, 18, 19, absolutely, probably excuse that, a 16-year-old, because you get people who grow up friends, that age group.
Yeah,
but I think it's different. I think there's a different standard if you just meet somebody completely out the fucking blue. When you're over 21 and they're 16 years old. Yeah, I think there's a completely different standard there. I have never ever understood.
He said he was banging her. Yeah,
he said he was banging her in his car.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he claimed that he got catfished, which I don't believe him for a moment. I think this is probably just another one of his stories. He comes across as being like, oh God, who the fuck am I thinking of? I want to, I don't know, is it Rush V? It comes across as somebody who's basically just doing like fan fiction, or he's making up stories about what kind of a hotshot Romeo he is, and how many women he's banged.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe half the stuff that Andrew Tate has said when it comes to his interactions with women are actually true. Well, at least not as sexual conquest, anyway.
I'm not so sure. I mean, he's been involved in sex trafficking.
Oh yeah, look, I totally get that.
He's pimping a lot of the girls who are with him.
I'm not saying he's probably not had sex with a lot of different women, but I think that some of the stuff he goes on about, like for example the story about April, how he got catfished and he decided, I did her anyway, and I was looking at her Facebook. I don't believe that for a moment. I think again this is just somebody trying to act the big man.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still trying to find some more clips, by the way. I've got another one here. This one is a while back. Let me just bring that up.
But he's facing what I think it varies how long he's facing in prison. Some articles I've seen, he's facing up to 15 years. Some have said he's facing up to 20 years in prison for this.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I don't know how strict Romania's laws are, particularly on things like rape. So that might be the one that he spends the most time in jail for.
Well, here's something he did a while back.
Have you ever seen a woman try and do anything competently? Like, imagine a girl pick this up. If I pick this up, you ain't fucking with me. I'd have my left hand, I'd still like jab, I'd fucking swing low, take your fucking knee out. You ain't gonna see it coming. What would a woman do? Slap the machete, slap her in the face. One hand, machete, and then backhand. I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had the practice of a girl comes at you. You cheated, you cheated.
I perfected this in pimp school.
Bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Her panties get wet. Machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet. You go, fuck her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex. These are the basic moves of pimping.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Some little amateur. What if a girl picks it up? You're a fucking loser.
Yeah, this is who people think is legitimately a role model for men. Top G. And he's going to be a bottom for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, we have looks like we have somebody who's a big fan of Andrew Tate here. What is this? Laughing my ass out. Yeah, we're showing this guy who is now formally charged for sex trafficking and rape, his worst hits, I guess. And yeah, it's bizarre that this person who likes to have a go at trans people and gay people for being around children and calling them pedophiles, and then when you see the stuff that comes out of his mouth, the rhetoric he comes out of his mouth, which influence kids, is basically to rape and harass women. It's not really a common win because he's in jail. He's in house arrest.
Yeah, he's being charged for rape and human trafficking. How the hell is that a common win?
Yeah, and cook. Mate, I like to cook. I'm a fucking great cook. I barbecue all the bloody time. Welcome, Jim. By the way, nice picture of your face shaved. Oh my god, not good. Yeah, you're damn right it's not fucking good. But the youth of today are kind of influenced, unfortunately, by dickheads like Andrew Tate, because unfortunately, Bill Nye the Science Guy and stuff like that are not cool enough because they wear bow ties and stuff like that, so they're a bit too square. So you come across somebody like Andrew Tate, who is a middle-aged man influencing children, and they love him. They absolutely do.
I think a whole generation of kids who've grown up on things like My Super Sweet 16 or Teen Cribs or that kind of shit, they're materialistic, and they look at somebody like Andrew Tate who says, "Hey, look, I've got 3 Bugattis, I've got 5 Ferraris, I've got so many houses, I've got all millions of dollars in the bank. You can have them too. You can be a top G like me." I want his next video actually to come out, and it's not a top G. He's going to explain to his little audience of incels, it's a top G move to jack off 5 men in a prison shower block.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be passed around like fucking soap, mate. So for sure, he's it's not looking good.
He'll get trafficked for like half a cigarette at a time.
Exactly.
He'll go from really to sell like a fucking beach ball.
Yeah, he's gonna really have to show his martial art moves in jail that's for sure, because that's the only time it's gonna come in really handy in his life. We're not getting fucked over, because it's gonna be, unfortunately for him, a massively long stint. And look, being a martial artist is a great discipline, all of that, and it's a shame really, because you do come across people in that within the professions who are very humble, and they live a good life, and then they're nothing like Andrew Tate. And then you've got people who've learned those disciplines, and they end up being bullies, so to speak, and they express the worst sides of themselves. What do you think of his interview with the BBC?
I'll be honest, I thought it was probably a mistake on the BBC's part. I really did. They kind of dropped the ball on it.
In what way?
I thought they let him away with far too much. Ironically, I thought Piers Morgan, believe it or not, somehow managed to do a better job. I learned more regarding Tate from the Piers Morgan interview than I did from the BBC. And I thought it was a mistake as well, the fact that... here's the thing as well. I thought it was also a mistake bringing on somebody like Mizzy to talk about him too, which the BBC did.
Oh god, yeah, they did that, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean. They dropped the fucking ball on it big time. It should have just been completely about highlighting what he has spoken about, why he's such a fucking dreadful human being. Do not bring on somebody like Mizzy, who then turned it into this whole thing about, hey, you're just trying to portray like all black youth as being like this.
Yeah, I felt just to go on Mizzy just a little bit. I felt really sorry for certain black people I knew, because they were worried that he was bringing black people down and he was taking them back several years. Now, I personally don't look at someone like Mizzy and think to myself, "You're a representation of all black people."
No, you just think he's a fucking asshole. To me,
he's a fucking asshole.
He's like how I wouldn't want fucking Onision to be, a representation of all white people.
I just feel that I just worry for black people who are decent people, who think that someone like Mizzy would take them back several years, because it kind of shows that, okay, we obviously live in a fucked up society where someone like Mizzy is there to basically sorry, I can't think of the word right now, but solidify the opinions of racist people when it comes towards black people.
Look, racists look, racists were always going to take the example of Mizzy and say, hey, see, this is what all people act like, well, black people act like. I mean, look at Lawrence Fox, for example. Lawrence Fox, who just recently failed miserably trying to burn pride flags. If you haven't seen the video, go look it up.
Oh, really? I gotta look at that.
But if you recall, when Benjamin Mendy, the footballer, was charged with rape, what was one of the first things Lawrence Fox put out? He put out a tweet. No, he put out a tweet of the story about Benjamin Mendy being charged with rape, and he just captioned it and said, "Take the knee now, motherfuckers," as if Benjamin Mendy was somehow a representation of all black people. So yeah, racists were always gonna hold up Mizzy as being, an example of, oh, this is what all black people were like, and the majority of people were just like, no, Mizzy's just a fucking prick.
Yep. Yeah, because ever since he came onto the scene, as far as I was concerned, I've seen other black people talk to him and mention how fucking wrong he is and what he does. You know what I mean? They generally don't like what he does. And now, because a lot of the negative attention that he is getting, he almost feels like he's starting some sort of movement. You know what I mean? Because he's got all his stupid dickhead mates who are all fawning for him. Claiming that this is a movement against people like us, and we're trying to do something. I mean, they're not starting any fucking movement. All they're doing is being a menace to society.
It's an unfortunate trend. It's a bit like when YouTube pranks were a big thing for a while, and a lot of people were copying guys like Sam Pepper. And what Sam Pepper was doing was effectively sexual assault of women.
Yeah, I've seen pranksters like that. It's quite disturbing.
He had a lot of copycats, and it's unfortunate. That's kind of what's going on with, I think, Mizzy and TikTok. There are people who see what Mizzy did and they think, oh, that's funny, that got a lot of views, I'm going to try that now.
He was going up to women and telling them if they want to die.
Yeah, if you don't want to die, then he kidnapped. Well, he basically kidnapped somebody's dog. Eventually gave it back and said, "Oh, it was just a prank." He showed up to somebody's home. Well, he went to somebody's home. He was. I think he did that to a couple of people actually. He's gone into a couple of people's houses. Where he just wasn't invited.
Him and his boys
just acted like he owned the place. So again, I don't know anybody who looks at him and thinks, oh, this is guy's a representation of all black people. Again, most people I know of who even know he exists just look at him and think this guy's just an utter cunt.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to say that when you come to every demographic on this planet, the one demographic that never gets generalized ever is white people. Like a white person can shoot up a school, and no one immediately thinks that all white people are fucking school shooters. Nobody thinks that all white people...
terrorist, religious terrorism. It wasn't white nationalism. Yeah. It was mental illness. Even when we eventually found out that it was white nationalism. Yeah. Again, we have the big discussion we generally have if a white guy goes up and shoots a school is, oh, was it mental illness? What not was this faith-based terrorism or anything like that?
Yeah.
Again, we've heard for years in this country the whole thing about pedophile grooming gangs, and it's always ones with people of Asian origin or Muslims. Yeah. Guys like Tommy Robinson or Paul Golding from Britain First, they'll always highlight as an example of like, oh, this is the epidemic we've got in this country, and they'll never discuss the white grooming gangs who've gone to prison in this country.
Exactly. I mean, how often when you watch things like Catch a Pedophile or whatever, Catch a Predator, it's always the majority of the time. It's usually not every time.
Pretty much, it's middle-aged white guys.
Yeah, it's middle-aged white guys, and that's the same because to generalize generalize people is fucking stupid. I don't generalize anybody, but it just seems that it's only that only goes for white people and not for everybody else. So to all black people out there who look at Mizzy, don't worry. Same people don't generalize black people and think to themselves, yeah, Mizzy's a representation. He's not. The only person who's he's setting back is himself, because racist people are always going to be fucking racist people, as you said earlier, and they don't need somebody like Mizzy to fucking solidify their opinions. You know what I mean? Because because they were always they were just looking for anything and everything in a way to to express their racism, and Mizzy just does that for them regardless. You know, you could show a white person doing exactly the same thing, and they'll fucking excuse the fucker for everything under the sun. So yeah. All right. So far regarding Andrew Tate, as we do stray away from the subject of him and Tristan, I guess we'll have to find out what happens in the upcoming days. But this is great news. I mean, I remember when the thing with what's her face, the Scandinavian girl. What was her name? Elga, what the fuck her name is? The eco warrior princess.
Oh, Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg, yeah. I mean, a lot of people assume that she was the one who put Andrew Tate in jail in the first place. They're so fucking stupid with the pizza boxes and all of that.
Brilliant coincidence. For anyone who doesn't remember, he had posted a picture of it. He posted a picture of him filling up one of his cars and sent a tweet to Greta Thunberg where he said, "I've got 4 Bugattis, 7 Ferraris. Send me your email address and I will email you a list of all my cars and how much damage they do to the planet." So she sent a reply saying it's getalife@smalldeckenergy.com.
Yeah.
And this pissed him off so much that he did a video where he was showing himself eating pizza. And he says, "Got the box in here." And by the way, we're not recycling the boxes. Make sure we don't recycle the boxes. And the pizza logo supposedly was what tipped off the Romanian authorities that he was back in the country.
I thought his house would have, because his house has got a general look to it as well.
Yeah.
So
it was a massive coincidence, but the story that was floating around at the time was that the logo on the pizza box tipped off the Romanian authorities that he was back in the country, and that's when they swooped in and they arrested him.
Exactly.
So that's what was going. That's how the connection was always established, that Greta Thunberg was the reason that Andrew Tate wound up behind bars.
I mean, they would have probably known that he was back in Romania, regardless of that. I mean, if he flew in privately, obviously, then they might not have known. But like I said, the moment he made a video in his house, that was it. The game was up, and I'm sure he was unaware that he would be arrested in the first place, because he's just, he's above it all, and he was bragging about all his corruption anyway. So, nevertheless, it was good. It was good to see that the law can affect people like Andrew Tate in a country that is supposed to be allegedly corrupt. Great stuff. We'll see what happens in the future. I can't wait, to tell you the truth. It's going to be fascinating. I know a lot of his simping fans are going to be outside. He converted to Islam, by the way, because he knew his misogyny. In my opinion, somebody who's ex-Muslim, he knew that his misogyny would work with a lot of Muslim people, especially, and his homophobia and all of that shit. And by the way, I'm glad that reminded me. Have you seen that clip about him and Megan Fox and Hulk Hogan?
Oh yes, I have. Where he said he would, do you want to do Megan Fox with a dick or Hulk Hogan with a vagina?
Let's bring that up. Let me look for that.
So it's a woman that looks like Hulk Hogan with a vagina, or a transgender woman who looks like Megan Fox but has a penis. Which one are you going to do?
Yeah, I think this was let's have a look. Let's see if we can find this. Here we go. Here's the clip. This was I think maybe 2 years ago. Here we go.
See, but he's got mustache and muscles and shit. He's all hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's a pussy. That is gay. Whereas Megan Fox, okay, he's got a dick, but maybe you can scoot it out the way. I'm still Megan Fox.
Cat can be.
She's small and shit. You can get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural.
Don't count, man.
This affects the world we now live in. What is straight? What is gay? It's all a big sliding spectrum, isn't it? Because if you're going to sit here and go, oh, no, it's gay to bang Megan Fox with a dick, I counter that argument. It's gay to bang Hulk Hogan with a pussy. Which one is it? See, but he's got mustache.
Okay, if you want to enter into a relationship with someone who's transgender, a transgender woman who still has a penis, that's on you. I'm not going to judge you for that. But he's basically saying it's gay to have sex with a woman purely based on her being unattractive.
Look, there's somebody who
It's wholly fucked up.
I've banged a couple of tranny working girls, and yeah, they were fucking hot as anything. I didn't give a damn what was between their legs, but nevertheless, what makes me laugh for a start is Andrew Tate's demeanor, because he does come across as quite camp in this particular clip. Secondly, you know, how does his loyal followers take something like that? He's basically saying, bang a transgendered woman. He's encouraging it, you know.
I mean, in fairness, his followers are the kind of people who would jack off to Blair White.
Yeah. I mean, Blair White's fucking hot, and no matter how fucking terrible she is, she's fucking gorgeous, and she knows that, and she wants to be the last tranny standing, in my opinion, before they fucking cap her in the head.
Yeah,
But,
I look for a bit more than whether or not you're physically attractive. Blair White to me is an incredibly ugly human being.
No, look. She's a terrible person. I'm not doubting that, but I am very attracted to Blair White. But I do acknowledge that she's a despicable person. I will never not acknowledge that. But I can't help but be attracted. You know what I mean? But
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
I mean, like I there are people out there who I know that are terrible people, even if I find them attractive. But I do acknowledge that there are people out there who are attractive, but also they're assholes at the same time. And Blair White is definitely one of those people. But it's just funny because when you've seen that clip of Andrew Tate, because he is encouraging having sex with hot transgendered women, and at the same time, if you see other clips, he's anti-trans, anti-gay, all of that.
Yeah.
He stands for fucking nothing. He stands for fucking nothing. You know what I mean? And that's what I wish people would figure out. You know,
there's all
regarding that.
It pretty much is always a grift.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, it just depends on the fucking day, and I'm sure he's haunted by that particular clip. He must have lost a few followers with that, but at the same time, I think some people don't give a fuck because they probably wank off the tranny porn while hating trannies, you know, during the day and jerking off at them at night. You know what I mean?
Alex Jones was exposed. He had shown his browser history, and it showed that he had been Googling for a transgender porn star whose main videos, I believe, she was basically penetrating men, which did not go down well with his audience.
Nick Fuentes is another guy.
That's another one,
yeah. And there's rumors are that Steven Crowder pays male prostitutes to fuck him in the ass. Have you heard about that rumor?
I've heard the rumor, but I've never heard anything substantial about it.
No doubt. But yeah, there are rumors about that, and a lot of people said that the most happiest he's ever been is when he's dressed up as a woman, and he's done that several times as well. You know, and I'm sure.
Well, you mean the insecure little boy who has to wear a gun holster every time he appears on camera?
Yeah. And then, more things, revelations came to the surface when you found out that apparently he was having chest implants whilst his twins were being born.
Oh yeah, but supposedly he was having he was having a rod inserted into his chest to basically make it not as pigeon chested. There's a big dispute about whether or not it was essential to help his breathing, because his chest apparently was quite restricted due to it being he was basically pigeon chested, and or whether or not it was just purely cosmetic to try and make himself look a bit more manly.
Or to give him some pecs.
Yeah, well, to basically make sure his chest protruded a bit more, because again he was pigeon chested. His chest, I believe, was very, very restricted, and he initially claimed it was to help his heart out, but again, the rumor is it was purely cosmetic.
Okay. Well, one thing I do know about Steven Crowder is he likes to dress up as a woman, so maybe he can make a move on Andrew Tate in the future and see how that fucking pans out. You know, you can make himself look like.
Should we not say allegedly on this, because I don't know if this has ever actually been confirmed?
All right, allegedly. Just that from what I've seen, because he looks, those clips of him in the past, he looks so comfortable, and I wonder what his take is on drag now. I would love to hear it if anyone's got any clips they can show me, because He has done it. We've seen him do it. So what does he think about men dressing up as women now? I mean, is he against it, even though he's done it himself? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Crowder is anti-drag. He posted about that multiple times.
Even though he considers
drag
himself.
queen story hour to be grooming, so he is against drag, particularly when it comes to things like drag queen story hour.
Okay, so all right, fair enough. So he's against drag. Just outside the drag queen story hour, is he against drag?
I think he's got no issue with it when it comes to adult shows, but he doesn't want kids around drag queens. He considers it. He considers any form of cross-dressing, be it people who are trans, people who are drag queens. He considers that to be a form of grooming.
So, do these same people have an issue with cheerleaders, shaking their asses?
Oh no,
wearing sexually revealing clothing during
not in the
American
slightest.
games.
The only one who might do maybe is Ben Shapiro, given how sexually repressed he is. The guy who admitted that he's never got his wife wet.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Dried in the Sahara. And also like taking your kids to Hooters, he's fine with that as well, I guess.
Oh, quite probably. I think. Well, I know Crowder is, so I don't know about the others.
Yeah, it's very weird, isn't it? When you think about it in these particular aspects. I mean, I just the mind fucking boggles. And then they go on about child mutilation, but then genital mutilation, but they're probably fine with circumcision.
Yeah.
Hypocrites, man, hypocrites, all of them. Fucking hell, my mind boggles, Shredder. But it really does. Yeah, there's so many ways you can pull apart these people's arguments, and they don't give a flying fuck. They're just happy to accuse people for certain things, whilst they themselves do those certain things. A little bit differently, but still they do it. They follow those accusations. They groom children around sexual things like cheerleading and Hooters and stuff like that. They're totally fine with fucking circumcision at birth for boys. Cutting off the tip of their dick. This unfortunately happened to me. I had no choice in it because I was months old when it fucking happened.
Yeah, that's Islamic. Well, is that common under Islam, or is it just certain sects of Islam?
It's totally common under Islam. I had no fucking choice. I remember, I remember in school and stuff like that, I was wondering why my dick looked so weird, but everyone else had a fucking hood. When we're getting changed, going to like swimming or something like that. Like what the fuck? It's so weird.
Because that's the thing. Circumcision is quite a common practice over in America, even outside of religion. It's just a cosmetic thing they do there. That was something that shocked. I mean, that's something that Steph, I don't think, was used to when we first got together. Was the fact that I had a foreskin still.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, they mentioned about how it's clean and stuff like that. But the fucking rabbis, they pull the foreskin out with their mouths and shit like that. Like, what the fuck? And some of these guys have herpes, and then they end up giving herpes to their kids. So these kids, they're performing this ritual over. Like, This is stupid. This is stupid. All of this is fucking stupid. This is pointless. There is no need to fucking cut off people's fucking foreskin. But yeah,
apart from Andrew Tate, I'm all in favor of cutting off his foreskin and then maybe going just a little bit further. Start with the head and then you'll work your way down.
I'll start from the back. Give him the old castration so he can't fucking breathe. You know what I mean? So because we don't need any more Tates in this fucking world. All right, I think we've gone on as much as we can about this, that, and every other subject around the sun regarding people similar to these motherfuckers. We are in rejoice at this moment in time, just if people are wondering. We are very happy that Andrew Tate has been formally charged for sex trafficking, rape, and what else?
Running a criminal organization.
Running a criminal organization. I remember him bragging about that as well. When it came to working with mafiosi, the Romanian mafia in their casinos or something along those lines. I
Yeah,
believe.
I mean, it's gonna be quite funny. The odds are they'll probably just literally play tapes of his show in court and say, "Well,
Yeah.
here he is confessing to crimes 1, 2, 3."
Exactly. I mean, and you know, the funny thing is, just just to continue here, a lot of people say that he's playing a character, but like you want these same Simpson incel fans of his want their cake and eat it. He's playing a character, yet he's also very inspirational. So which is it? When is he fucking playing a character, and when is he inspirational and being himself? You know, like
It's the Alex Jones defense. The Alex Jones defense of, "Oh, this was entirely a character. I don't really believe all of this."
I think
And it's a double-edged sword.
I think Tucker Carlson did a similar defense as well, didn't he?
I think it was Fox that lodged that defense. They said that everybody knows that Tucker Carlson is not serious with his content. He's not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's too many people like Cheeto's ex-girlfriend now, Megan. She tried to get the news around people by posting a video clip of Tucker Carlson on Facebook and saying, "Look, here you go. Like, listen to this guy." I'm thinking to myself, "You want me to listen to fucking Tucker Carlson?" You know what I mean? This guy's going to be the bearer of fucking news and truth and honesty. Are you mad? I think she was totally unaware, living in this conservative bubble that she has been before she got to know people like you, me, and you, and everyone else in this contributor group before she broke up with Cheeto. You know how indifferent we were, and how we see people like Tucker Carlson as a fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? So, who definitely misinterprets information. And I made sure that she kind of knew that. Unfortunately, at the time when she did post that clip of Tucker Carlson, I wasn't able to respond because I was banned on Facebook. So I was only able to look at stuff. I couldn't respond to stuff.
Right.
But I did let her know afterwards how I felt about certain things. And I do send her little clips here and there of right-wing hypocrisy and shit like that, you know. But whether she cares or not, I have no fucking idea.
He's reportedly been sent a cease and desist from Fox over his Twitter videos.
Yeah, and by the way, I feel kind of vindicated because regarding him, his Twitter stuff, because a lot of people assume that they'll start watching to go on Twitter and they'll follow him and stuff like that, but it's not really the case. His views have been exaggerated, and he's becoming yesterday's fucking news, in my opinion. He's on Twitter, he's not on fucking mainstream cable where the old people who generally give a fuck about him are watching him. Younger people don't want to fucking see this 50-something-year-old man fucking chatting shit every day on Twitter. They'd rather listen to someone a bit younger and somebody a bit more hip. And Tucker Carlson is square as fuck. He doesn't represent that. In my opinion. So it's good to know that that him moving to Twitter and leaving Fox News wasn't going to benefit him. If anything, is kind of like the end of his career now, and he's on the wind down, just like his predecessors, Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly. So yeah, and unfortunately with Andrew Tate, even if he does go to jail and he disappears off the face of the earth, there's going to be a successor, and there are a few at this moment like Sneeko, who's a fucking nonce, and all these others, but there'll always be a successor. But they have to come up with something a little bit unique to make them stand out of the crowd, or they're just going to look like a clone. But there's lots of fucking Andrew Tate clones out there. But I do feel a successor will eventually happen. That these right-wing fucking simp chud incel fucks will end up following, in my opinion.
Part of me thinks if Tate does go to prison, YouTube might actually start cracking down on other clone channels like him, because they won't want to run the risk that there's another one out there.
Yeah, I guess so. But they, at the same time, they still have no problems with all these news channels like Daily Wire and all of them. I think maybe Candace Owens and Matt Walsh have been banned for a month or so, or something like that.
They got suspension. I think it was a 7-day suspension.
Yeah, but whether anything happens to them is another thing, because those guys bring in money because they're massive YouTube channels. I don't know. I don't know. I think they might change their rhetoric here or there, and they might calm it down before gradually turning up the heat a little bit here and there before it becomes normalized again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, all right, Shredder. It's been lovely talking to you about this, that, and the other. Usually we do talks like this on Fridays, but we couldn't help ourselves bringing it up today because Andrew Tate going to jail or I apologize, being formally arrested is massive news. And yeah, we're gonna crack open the champagne now after we end this video. You know what I mean? Time to celebrate. Let's hope we get more good news about maybe him, spending 30 years or life imprisonment, for all these various crimes. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Shredder, and to everyone out there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to YouTube. Myself and Shredder will hopefully be back tomorrow for Dark Side of the Ring.
I'm looking
you be
forward
there
to that. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow talking about the latest episode of Dark Side of the Ring. That'll be about Doink the fucking clown. So look forward to that. Then we'll be talking about Star Trek on Thursday. And we might even talk, and we're also got to talk about Secret Invasion, which is the new DC MCU thing as well. We're going to try and squeeze that in at some point, which comes out tomorrow as well. All right, thank you, Shredder. Thank you, everyone else out there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care.